Good morning, welcome to Exploring the Cop with host Rob Castaldo, and it's Thursday morning, and this is the Fae Chronicles continued. And I just want to let everybody know too, this tomorrow, my guest on Spiral Radio, which if you're new to who I am, not only do I do this YouTube channel, but I also do a show on a paranormal radio station. The radio station my show is on is called the Para X Radio Network, and it's a 24/7, 365 live streaming paranormal shows. It's not always live shows. When there's not a live show running, it's a mix of the archives, so a random mix of the archives. So there are live shows practically every night. So yeah, every night there are live shows. It's just I think during the day and in the wee hours of the morning, and they have the archives randomly playing. So I'm having Gary Wayne on, who's a friend of my show, who I've had on before, and he's from the book The Genesis 6 Conspiracy. He's written that book, and he's an encyclopedia of information himself. And him and I, when we talk, we have so much fun, because I was on the phone with him last night for like 10 minutes, and we, just different. I bring up different topics that I've been researching. He's bring up stuff that he's been researching, and we have a good time going down the spiral of the supernatural and the paranormal. So tomorrow we tend I think it's more, we're going to talk more about giants tomorrow, but I'm having them on June 30th as well, where we're going to do another Fallen Angel Friday, but it's all linked, all the topics are linked. But tomorrow we're going to get into the Persian giants, and I did a video on that earlier, which I still have to continue. We're going to do that, and then we're also going to get into some ancient Greek, half human, half reptile, and actually, as well as the Oriels that's mentioned in King James Bible and other religious documents. The Oriels were feline, humanoid type lion people, and we're gonna get deep down that too. So this is the Fae Chronicles, everybody. If you haven't seen the previous ones, they're in the playlist. Just check up on the other Fae Chronicles. So I want to let everybody know the reason why I feel that I really need to talk about this stuff too is that in 2002, when I was living in Long Beach, California, I pretty much am 100% convinced that one of my encounters and experiences that happened to me there was me actually experiencing one of these Fae realms and the technology and making it back, and I did lose a day and a half's time. I mean, it happened to me in the Cesar Chavez Park in Long Beach, California, and it's between 1st and 4th Street and Golden. It's between 1st and 4th and Golden Avenue, or Golden whatever, and it's like at the end of Long Beach, right before the freeway. And I've talked about the whole experience in some of the radio shows that I've been interviewed on. I don't think I've ever talked about it on my show, Spiral Radio, but I've talked about it when I was a guest on other people's shows. I don't really have the time to get into the whole story this morning, but basically I lost a day and a half's time when I entered this portal, and I was still in the same park, but it was like an alternate dimension of the park, and I did encounter little people, and they all looked the same way. They were not what you thought like a typical fairy or fae would look like. These were sinister type beings with painted on smiles and little nubs over their eyebrows, and they had this really pronounced widow's peak, and they looked like little Eddie Munsters or little Dave Navarros. They really look like little devils, and they were basically playing you know, I gotta go through the whole story, but these beings are tricksters and carriers of prophetic information, and not only can they teach you things, but they can trick you. And you know, it was taxing on my body. I still have a nerve issue to this day, like certain sensory issues, certain fabrics and different things feel weird on my skin and give me the, you know, and I have certain things that, you know, happened to me ever since then that I've never been the same since. And you know, it's really crazy because beforehand these beings, they enchant you in a type of way to get lured to their portal, you know, and most forests and parks have portals to these Fae realms. Okay, you could call them interdimensional, astral, whatever you want to call the different things. They're just labels, but I'm calling them Fae realms right now. They're lower astral realms, and there's every forest or park pretty much has an access to one of these realms. There's a network, and you can get caught in this for eternity, caught in a veil, you know, where people can't hear you. You're hearing people calling your name, and most times before entering one of these realms and you enter to access the portal, most times it's good to be out of your clothes or barefoot at least, and sometimes, you know, missing your clothes, because somehow the technology works better when there's no clothes in between you and your body. And that's what I'm feeling, because beforehand one would get enchanted to take off their clothes and take off their shoes. You wouldn't even think anything of it. You're just doing it like it's some sort of mission. And this happened to me, you know, so I know, you know. And you know, the Fae star, like I've talked about, you know, if you're I don't know if people have seen my other video before, but the Fae star is the septagram, and you see it here. And I believe this star with the wand underneath activates the wand is some power, you know, it's the power device, you know, the power source, and it amplifies or something the star on top, which is like made of some kind of, you know, technology that seems like magic. You know, it has the same glow as a star in the sky, and it opens dimensions, I feel, you know, this wand. And you know, in occult symbology, this star is representative of, you know, the presence and emanation of light, and connecting someone to the sun, the magic, the wind, the moon, the door, the woods, the sea, and the sun. It's like it connects you through portals. And the way it's described in a metaphorical way to understand how it works is they depict light emanating from a higher plane of existence, you know. Say there is 7 planes of existence that we know of, you know. The light emanating from the higher plane is channeled into the mortal world, and that would be from 1 to 2, and then the light of the moon is reflected into the mortal realm by the sea and given force in the tides, and that would be the point 3 of the star. And then the wind arises from the tides and carries the light across the realm of mortal kind, and that's star point 4. And then the tree catches the light on the breeze and gather it for those who seek enlightenment, and star point 5. And then the light resides within the trees and awaits the awakening, you know, which is magic, and star point 6, and technology. And then that technology opens the doorway or portal that allows access to the source, and that's star point 7, the septagram. Spiral out.